How is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech, and today we're going to talk about this iPhone storage. More specifically, how to free up a ton of your iPhone storage with just a few simple tricks. So let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing you have to do is open up your settings and let me explain you something. In this video, we're talking about your iPhone storage, the internal storage. And a lot of people don't really understand the difference between the iPhone storage and this. When you go ahead and take a look at your iCloud storage, the one you pay a monthly fee. Those are two completely different things. This is the cloud storage. You can pay more, you can get more. And of course, when we're talking about the internal storage, we're talking about this. Going to general, iPhone storage, and this number right here, which can't be changed. So if you get a 256 gigabyte iPhone, it'll always be 256, okay? So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to free up a ton of your iPhone internal storage, this thing right here. But of course, I'm also gonna show you how you can actually use your iCloud storage, your cloud storage that you pay a monthly fee to actually help you free up your internal storage. We're gonna talk about that as well. So let's actually begin now. And since we are right here on this page, iPhone storage, the first thing you have to do is just take a look at this list. It'll already be categorized by size, so we're gonna see from top to bottom the apps that actually take up, that use most of your storage. In my case, I have WhatsApp. I'm gonna give you a special tip on WhatsApp in a second, like CapCut photos as well in a second, so hold on. And of course, multiple apps like Instagram and so on. And the whole point here is take a look at this list and just see which applications you just don't really use that often. That are taking a ton of your storage and you just don't need it. For example, we have here CapCut. Eventually, I added some videos here on my iPhone, but not that often, and everything I have on CapCut can be deleted. I don't need anything, any of my projects that are inside CapCut. I can literally delete the whole thing. So as I go ahead and delete, I'm actually erasing everything related to CapCut. Of course, if I have a subscription, it's gonna ask me if I wanna manage or keep. I wanna keep the subscription, okay? As you just probably saw also, there was an instant reduction right here on the bar, meaning that that storage was just freed up automatically just like that in front of our eyes. So when you do that, you just delete everything related to CapCut altogether, the application and all of its content, data, and files. But of course, we have something else we can do. So let's say, for example, I have this game right here, Free Fire, as you can see. The app itself is taking up almost 1.5 gigabytes of my storage, but I also have some documents and data. So let me give this as an example. So let's say you have an app or a game or anything, all right? And let's say you don't really use the app that often and the application itself is taking up quite a lot of your storage, but you don't want to delete its content, its data, so the files inside the application. Let's give the example of this game right here. Let's say I don't really play Free Fire that often, just every once in a while, but I have some saved data right here that I don't want to lose. So if I delete the app altogether, I'm gonna delete everything. But if I offload the app, as you can see right here, I'm actually only deleting the application itself, so just the app itself. And with that, I'm gonna free up, in this case, 1.4 gigabytes of my storage, but I don't lose its content. I don't lose my saved logs or anything like that. And this will work for any kind of application. So if you have any kind of app that has, for example, a lot of your documents and stuff that you really need, but the app itself is just taking up a ton of storage and you don't use it that often, no problem. You can offload the app, just like I showed you, and then free up its storage, just the application itself, and then you're gonna keep the documents, the data, the files, and everything. So when you actually need them again, all you have to do is tap here on Reinstall App. The app itself is gonna be reinstalled, and of course, all your data will be there. So that's a good way to just free up a ton of storage without losing anything. So you have option number one, you can delete everything altogether, or option number two, you just delete the app itself and you keep the data inside it. And when you need it, you just reinstall the app. Now let's talk about that special tip about WhatsApp, because we all know that WhatsApp generally takes up a ton of our storage, especially because of all the chats and media. So if we go ahead and actually exit our settings and open up WhatsApp and then go to settings at the bottom right corner and then scroll down and go to storage and data, and then at the top, we manage the storage, we can easily see that in my case, for example, I have over 50 gigabytes being used from WhatsApp, and that's pretty much just media. So as you can see here, I have over 2,000 media files that are larger than 5 megabytes. And I have, of course, a lot of forwarded many times. So one of those viral messages we get all the time. And that's pretty much always useless. So what you can do is just go ahead and tap here on the category and then take a look at the video. You can see the size right here at the top. And then if you don't need it anymore, you go ahead here, select, tap on it. Sorry about that. So let's select and tap on it and then delete it, as you can see. So as easy as that. So you can go one by one or go like pretty fast, selecting fast, and then you can easily delete a ton of files, free up gigabytes and gigabytes of storage without having to delete the whole application altogether, which generally is not what you want, right? And you can do the same thing for this, forward it many times, and you can even see your chats and check right here which chats are the largest, which are actually taking up most of your storage. This is easy to see as well. So this is very good for messaging apps that you don't have the option right here on your iPhone storage screen, but you can go inside the app and then take a look. So this is a special tip for WhatsApp. Moving on, if we scroll all the way down, we have here iOS. As we tap on it, as you can see, we have iOS itself, so that's the operating system. There's nothing we can do, even though it's getting so large lately. As you can see, over 22 gigabytes in my case right here. But we also have Apple Intelligence, which can vary a little bit, ranging from 7 all the way up to over 10 gigabytes. And this we can actually fix. So if you don't really use Apple Intelligence, for example, you can come back once again and once again, scroll down, tap on Apple Intelligence and Siri, and right here we have the toggle. You can easily disable it, turn off Apple Intelligence, and then your storage will be cleared after a while. It's not instant like deleting an app. It takes a while, but it's not too long. And then after a few hours, maximum a couple days, you're gonna see that storage being completely cleared. As you saw, it could be over 10 gigabytes. So this is a big deal. And last but not least, let's talk about my final tip. Remember I mentioned that we can actually use the iCloud storage to free up a ton of our iPhone storage. I'm gonna show you right now. So if we come back here to general and iPhone storage, we're gonna talk about our photos. As you can see, my photos, my full library is taking up 11 gigabytes, just 11 gigabytes. So it's pretty much nothing, right? How can it be so low? Especially considering that if I open my Photos app right here, I have over 44,000 items. So those are photos and videos. So it should be way more than just 11 gigabytes, right? And that's because I'm using iCloud. So if I go ahead and open up my settings and come back once again, and then tap on this top banner with my name, and then go to iCloud, we're gonna see here photos, so 44,000 items, the exact same thing. This is my entire library, and as you can see, that library, my entire library, is actually taking up 836 gigabytes. So it's getting close to 1 terabyte. So how can I actually have just 11 gigabytes being used on my iPhone storage? And that's because we're using the iCloud Photos feature. So what you have to do is enable the feature, enable sync this iPhone, as you can see, and then tap on this option, optimize iPhone storage. With that, we're gonna make sure our full library, so all of our 44,000 items in my case, are gonna be stored in iCloud, in the cloud, taking up my monthly paid iCloud storage, right, that we mentioned before, and we're just gonna have the miniatures. So just smaller versions of those photos and videos right here on my iPhone. But let me explain. I can access my entire library on my iPhone. So everything, if I come back, I can come back years and years and years until the beginning of my Apple account, and I can access and view everything from my iPhone. But when I go ahead and tap on that old photo or old video, for example, what's gonna happen is the photo or video is quickly gonna load in front of my eyes and show me the real photo in full resolution. So think of it like Instagram, for example. When you post a photo or video on Instagram, it's on their server, right? And when you tap on a photo, it loads and shows you, right? That's the exact same thing when you do this setup right here. You have all your photos and videos, your entire library in iCloud, taking up maybe hundreds or even over terabyte of storage. And on your iPhone, you're just gonna have the miniatures taking up almost no storage and fully, completely accessible, so you can access everything straight from your phone. But of course, you'll need to have internet connection to view those photos and videos from the past in high definition, in the original definition. They're gonna load in front of your eyes, okay? So that's pretty much it. Those are my best tips and tricks on how to save a ton of your iPhone storage using, of course, iCloud. But even if you don't want to, you can just follow my other tips as well that I'm sure are gonna save you a ton of storage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video as usual, guys. Bye-bye.